Hey guys, J Stu Productions here. You guys remember right when you graduated high school, what that was like? You know, um, what, what do what do you do when you get out of high school? What do most people do? Boom, you go to college. Why do you go to college? Because you got to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life. That's just sort of the standard. Kids nowadays they graduate high school, they've got an enormous amount of pressure on them to figure out what the hell it is they're going to do. And my question to everybody is that right? Is that a good thing to do? Should kids who haven't even been out to experience the real world yet be expected to make a life-changing decision? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? What am I going to do for the rest of my life that's going to make me happy? I got to find out now because I'm done with high school, and boy, I better hurry up before I'm old. 6 out of 10 people in the United States are unhappy with their jobs. I'm actually surprised it's not more. 60% of people are unhappy with their jobs. Most of those people are the basic reasons, inadequate compensation. They don't have a good chance to advance. They're bored. They don't like their jobs. Now, can you contribute this to the fact, like, man, why did I make this decision to be a banker when I was in high school just because I liked money? Like, that was really dumb. I wonder how many people really go into college just to go to college because they feel that that's what they're supposed to do. You know, I think a lot of people do, and I think if you're out there and you're listening, and you're of that age, 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there, and you're wondering what you're going to do for the rest of your life, Jay Stu's advice: relax, man, take it easy. Do you really want to make that decision right now? Because that's a big decision. You put in a ton of time, money, a lot of hard work into something that you better know that you want to do because trust me, you don't want to be in the real world stuck going to a job 5 days a week for 8 hours every single day. That is a ton of time of your life that you're going to be here. You better like it because otherwise you're going to be miserable. You're not going to enjoy yourself. I don't know. I just find that it's a lot to expect someone that young to make that decision. You know, the school that I just graduated from, it's a small film school. It was only 24 students. They did that specifically so more one-on-one time and whatnot. But anyways, of the 24 students, they varied a lot in ages. I was definitely in the top of the. I was the old. I was one of the old guys. 30 years old. It's like, whoa, what is this guy still doing in school? We got like teachers younger than him. Jeez. What happened to him? How come he's still going to school? Man, you know. And then there's like most of the rest of the class, which was, right out of high school for the most part. Now, out of all those 24 students, when we graduated, only 4 of us already had internships lined up with the places that they wanted to go to. They were prepared. They planned ahead. They knew what they wanted to do, and they got on it. And those 4 students all just happened to be the 4 oldest people in the class, all right around my age. I was one of them. Everybody else is like, well, I'm going to Hollywood, or hey, I want to be like Michael Bay. I want to direct like Transformers 8 or something. Their thought process is still like kind of out there. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to play in the MLB. I don't know. I feel really sorry for people that are stuck in jobs now that they don't like because they made the decision when they were a kid to do this. Think about it. Oh, why are you a banker? Well, I don't know. I was like a teenager and I decided to do it. And now I put so much time and effort and study and education into it. I would be stupid not to take advantage of it. But I hate it. If I followed through with what I did right when I got out of high school, um, I would be doing something horrible. But luckily, I was like, this sucks. Boom, I'm gone. And I tried something else, and I didn't like that. See, I think like for some people, they're afraid to say this isn't for me and to start over and to quit. People are afraid to quit, I think. And you can't be afraid to quit if you don't feel it. You got to have a passion for what you want to do. Some people have a passion for banking. Maybe some people, they love the feeling they get when they're like in control of all this money or whatever. You know, who knows? Anyways, for any of you guys out there that are there watching this that are worried about it, man, calm down. I'm not telling you not to go to college. I'm saying if you're worried about it, and if you're thinking about going just to go, my opinion is don't, or maybe go and get some basics out of the way, because you're gonna have to take those anyway. Don't sit there being an 18 or 19-year-old and say, "Yep, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life." I hope in 20 years I don't want to kick myself in the ass, because I'm making this decision now. Seems like a big move. Anyways, all right, guys. So just a question. What do you guys think, man? Am I off base here or what?